Showboating sports, guys. I just got through checking out the Danny Jacobs versus Canelo Alvarez fight, and I must say the fight was, I'm going to say it was one-sided, man. And the reason why I'm going to say it was one-sided because Danny Jacobs didn't do none of the things I thought Danny Jacobs was capable of doing. Like, I figured he'd work his jab. I figured he'd make Canelo work hard to get in on the inside and make him pay for it every time he tries to get in on the inside. I thought Danny Jacobs was going to be more aggressive. I thought he'd be faster. I thought he'd be more polished. He actually did. I thought he beat Triple G that time. You know, I thought he did really good. I thought this performance right here would be even better, even though I knew Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy had a rehydration clause that the day of the fight that he couldn't be no more than 170 pounds. You know, it's kind of funny how Canelo Alvarez, when he fought Floyd Mayweather, he came in 15 pounds heavier than Floyd Mayweather. But when he moved up in weight, he made sure that what he done to other people, you can't do to him. And I'm not taking anything away from Canelo Alvarez because he's an awesome fighter. But it's funny how him and Golden Boy make sure that they do everything they can to tip the scales in their favor. And I know that's what fighters do, and you can't really blame them for that. But it is what it is, man. I just thought Danny Jacobs would do a lot more than what he did. He came in the fight. He just really wasn't as aggressive as I thought he would be. He was sluggish. He kept trying to make different adjustments that he could when he saw that Canelo was making adjustments. You know, Canelo would do one thing. It would frustrate Danny Jacobs a little bit. And you see he try to make adjustments and go to southpaw. Then he switched back to orthodox. He did a little bit of jab. He did a lot of punching. And Canelo, with just his head movement, made Danny miss. I mean, sometimes Danny would throw like 10, 15 shots and maybe land one and then would get countered. It's like, dude, you can't hit a moving target. You are a champion, man. You're not someone that's just coming up through the rankings that don't know what you're doing. I mean, you are a champion. And he was not fighting like a champion that night. I don't know if it was because he came in a little too heavy. And when I say that is because he did make all the weight clauses that he had to, like the for the weigh-in and the day of the fight, for the rehydration clauses. So the fight went on. So he got into the fight, and maybe by that night he probably weighed more. I'm hearing that he weighed over 180 pounds. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I'm hearing. But don't hold me to that because that doesn't mean it's true. But he did fight like he was a little sluggish, just a hair. And what I mean by sluggish is, as he was throwing his punches, the punches were not crisp. They weren't fast. And Canelo Alvarez just moved around him like he wasn't a champion. Canelo Alvarez did a really good job. I mean, he moved in on the inside. He did a lot of dodging. Some really good countering on that Canelo Alvarez did to Danny Jacobs. So that was really a really good match to show you the skills, footwork, the head movement that Canelo Alvarez has. I don't know where Danny Jacobs goes with his career because that right there lets you know he needs to go back to the drawing board. He definitely needs to figure out what went wrong and straighten that out. And I mean straighten it out fast because you won't be champ again if you let a little small guy like Canelo Alvarez move up and outbox you. And I don't mean he just barely outboxed him. He really, really outboxed him. I might have gave Danny Jacobs 2 rounds, man. I didn't really give him any of that. Well, maybe, you know what? It could have been 3 rounds because there was like 1 or 2 rounds in there that was could have went either way. So maybe 3 rounds, maybe. I'm just saying, man, Danny Jacobs needs to go back to the drawing board. He really does. Canelo Alvarez did a really good job. I think the best job that Canelo Alvarez done as far as this fight was made sure they put a rehydration clause in there to kind of get in his head. And the best decision that he made was to fight Danny Jacobs. You know he's not trying to go out there and fight fight one of the Charlos. He's been dodging the Charlos for years. But you can only dodge people for so long. Now where do you go? You beat Daniel Jacobs, and now where do you go? Hopefully it'll be one of the Charlos. So I can just say, hey, congratulations to Canelo Alvarez. You guys did a really good job. I thought Danny Jacobs would win the fight. I was hoping that he would win the fight. I knew Canelo Alvarez was a good boxer. I felt Danny Jacobs was a little bit bigger fighter. And I thought he'd work his jab. He would win the fight just off of that alone because he is a champion. But he did not fight like a champion Saturday night. He really didn't. So where does he go from here? Who knows? But that's straight from the hip, guys. Straight up, no chaser. So until next time, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video. And hit that notification icon, bell, so when I do new videos, you guys will be the first one to hear what's going on. And give me your thoughts on Bottom. If you got to see the fight, or if you're going to watch the fight soon, or some of your thoughts on Canelo as a person, where do you think he should go from here, who he should fight, or what Daniel Jacobs should do, who he should fight. Well, until next time, guys, like I said, that was Straight Up No Chaser, and I'm out.